In 1999, I purchased some tapes from Nightingale Conant Corporation. And the tapes were called Your Secret Wealth. And the tapes were by a gentleman named J. Abraham. And they were really good. In fact, at the time, my business was doing about $2 million a year. And I got a lot from those tapes. And then a couple weeks later, in the beginning of 2000, I got a call from a guy named Carl Turner. And Carl said, J. Abraham's doing a conference in California, and we wanted to invite you to come. Well, I said, that was wonderful. What a nice invitation. He said, well, the conference is $25,000 a person. Well, that's a lot of money. But at the time, I had just sold a commercial building, and I thought, well, I got so much in the tapes, it would probably be a great idea to go to this conference. So I went to the conference, and the conference was unbelievable, but unbeknown to me, J. Abraham was the top marketing mind in the United States. And he had created billions and billions of dollars worth of business for major corporations. So I decided to take my daughter. And I took my daughter with me. At the time, she was, 19. She was probably 19 years old at the time. And she became best friends with Jay's daughter. Well, I had such an experience that I went to more and more conferences. And on one of the conferences, I was the set test subject. And I learned a lot from that because I had a real desire to grow Father's business. And Father's business is saving souls. But business principles are business principles. So I had, when I was out there at Jay's conference, I met his ghostwriter. This fellow was also the ghostwriter for Tony Robbins. And so I decided to hire him to do some books. Well, I have done 4 books, and if you look behind me, you can see a copy of all 4. But today I want to talk about this book. And this is Will Green's Master Referral Marketing System. And it started as a course that was for real estate agents and for insurance agencies and for car dealers. And the course was $3,000. But I decided to take the course and turn it into a book. So I hired Earl. In fact, and I insisted, because Earl was such a great help, that he put his name on it as one of the authors. So, and I put the book on the market for $199. And I sold it for quite a while. And the thing is that it's simple. It's really simple, but it's not easy. And if a person will do it, whatever ministry they have will grow exponentially. And let me explain exponentially to you, because it's really the principle that is what we do in Christianity. It's one person sharing Christ with 2 people, and each one of them shares Christ with 2 people, and each one of them shares Christ with 2 people. And that's how we exponentially grow the body of Christ. So I want you to think about this. If you take 1 penny and you double it every day, on day 8 you have 128 people. On day 18 you have 1,300 people. On day 21 you've reached over 1 million people. Now that's if you do it every day, but we're not going to talk about every day because that's not realistic. How about once a week? If you can do this once a week and double everything once a week, you can take a ministry of 10 people, and within not very many weeks, you'll have 50 people. And not very many weeks, you'll have 300 people. Does this work? It absolutely works, and it's always worked. So I turned the course into a book. And I want to give you a synopsis of the book, because the book will teach you everything that we taught in that $3,000 class you'll learn in this book. And the book is 416 pages, but the first 22 pages explain everything. And the rest of the pages are memory joggers. So in 2006, we decided to put it in a book that was published in 2007. And I want to explain a few things to you before we even get started. Before we begin this course, there's one thing that you must understand about success. This alone separates winners from losers. The fear of success is greater than the fear of failure. want you to hear that clearly. The fear of success is greater than the fear of failure. Why, you ask? Because success requires a lot of responsibility. Honesty and integrity are symptoms of responsibility. I have to take responsibility for me, and you have to take responsibility for you. So I'm going to give you a series of steps. Success exercise. You know, confidence is the attribute of success. As one succeeds, one's confidence increases. The hardest step on any journey is the first step. So success step number 1 is this. I want you to go to a mirror and I want you to say, I will succeed because I was created to succeed. Now, it's really important that you vocally, you express that. You put that into the atmosphere. I will succeed because I was created to succeed. I will succeed because I was created to succeed. We can only achieve what we believe we can achieve. Napoleon Hill once said, whatever a man can conceive and believe, he can achieve. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. If you can't believe it, guess what? Your chances of success are really low. So I'm going to take you through a process. And at the end of this process, you're going to absolutely understand it step by step by step. You can't fail. It's not possible to fail if you follow these simple steps. But you need to follow them in order, one by one by one. So we are created in God's image as a creator being to achieve. With God, all things are possible. So first of all, we ask Holy Spirit to give us strength and courage. You will become a lender and not a borrower. You can do it. I have confidence in you. If you did step 1 and got this far, you're already a winner. Step 1 was looking in the mirror, remember? I will succeed because I was created to succeed. I will succeed because I was created. You were created to succeed. You were created by the creator of the universe as a creator being. So let's go with the program. The secret of ministry or business explosion is exponential growth. Doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling. Not tripling and quadrupling, but just doubling. That's the secret of exponential growth. The basis of referral marketing is building relationships with friends and friends of friends. Ministries and businesses are fundamentally building relationships. This course is simple, but it's not easy. Like anything of value, it requires work. Walking is easy once you learn how. Riding a bike or swimming is easy once you learn how. Are you willing to work really hard for 30 days to achieve the numbers you want in your ministry or business? Are you willing to share the secrets of your success? Or are you too selfish to do that? You know the word team, T-E-A-M, together each achieves more. And in Scripture we learn one has power over 1,000 spirits, but 2 have power over 10,000 spirits. Well, that's true in life. 2 is 5 times more powerful than 1. 3 will multiply this 5 more times to 50,000. Let me explain to you how simple Will Green's Master Referral Marketing System is. There are only 22 pages of instruction that can be read 3 times in well under 1 hour. It's important to fully understand the system. Why I want you to read it 3 times? Because I want you to understand it. The first time you go over it, you're going to have questions. The second time you go over it, some of those questions are going to be answered. And the third time you go over it, you can master it. It's that simple. The rest of the system is memory joggers. We are spirit beings with a body and a soul. Our soul is our mind, will, and emotions. The premise of this course is that our spirit can give questions to our mind, and our mind will answer those questions. Every person we have ever met is found in our subconscious mind. You will learn how to access your subconscious mind. There are 3 personalities that exponentially grow an enterprise. Number 1 is the connector. And we have connectors for our ministry. They connect us with people all the time. The second is a trusted advisor. Who is a trusted advisor? That's a successful person that when people talk to them, they understand that they've already succeeded and they can be trusted with their advice. And the third is a storyteller, because stories sell and facts tell. When you tell a story, the book of Revelation says that our power is in the word of our testimony and the word of our God. What is our testimony? It's our story. Wedding planners and funeral directors understand the rule of 250. What is the rule of 250? Well, when you go to do a wedding, the standard number of invitations is 250. When you go and do a funeral, the standard number of little bereavement cards is 250, because we know that everybody knows 250 people. Now, you may not think you know them, but I took a friend of mine who's up in the mountains, up in the middle of, he calls himself a hillbilly, and I ran him through the course, and in a little over an hour, we had over 250 names. And he swore they only knew 10 or 15 people. But we all know 250 people. So the system that I'm going to teach you is a 4-step system. The first one is retrieving personal contacts. In other words, everybody that you've ever met is in your subconscious mind. But how do you retrieve them out of your mind? I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm going to teach you how to access your memory, which is part of this. You need to access your memory to find those names. The third one is client referral. Everybody you know knows people that you don't know. And if you ask them to introduce you, they would be more than happy to introduce you. I have a friend that does plumbing. I need a plumber. I have a friend that does carpentry. You need a carpenter. Everybody wants to help everybody else. And the last part is prospecting at the end of a transaction. When you do business with somebody, at the end of the transaction, ask them for referrals. This is the hardest step of all, because everybody wants to think that they're smarter than that, and they're not, because everybody needs to know somebody that they don't know. There's somebody out there that you need to know, and they need to know you. And how do you find them? So the course is built up of memory joggers. And the key is accessing your memory, and the key is speaking to your mind. Now, what am I talking about? Well, King David said to his soul, "Bless the Lord, O my soul." Why was King David talking to his soul? Because his soul is part of his being, and he was a spirit, and he knew he was a spirit being. Well, you're a spirit being also, and your spirit has a body and a mind. And your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. And your spirit can tell your body and your mind what to do, and they'll respond if you ask them politely. You don't beat them up. You wouldn't beat up a friend. You don't beat yourself up. In the beginning, God said, "Light be." Light was. How did God create the universe? He spoke it into being. And we're created in the image of God. So do you think that would work for us? Absolutely it will. We speak things into a being. The words we speak direct where we're going. We can speak positive things, or we can speak negative things. Whatever we speak, we're going to get. That's what we're going to get. So we got to be careful of the words we speak. Well, I'm going to teach you how to speak to your mind. But there's a certain time of day you have to do this. You need to speak to your mind right before you go to bed in the evening. And you speak these questions. And in the course, we have lists of questions like this. You can see the list. And each page is a list of questions that you can ask your mind. And you can say, who do I know is a carpenter? Who do I know was a carpenter? Who do I know wants to be a carpenter? There's 3 questions. The same 3 questions for every memory jogger. Who do I know who is? Who do I know who was? Who do I know who wants to be? Who do I know is a neighbor? Who do I know was a neighbor? Who do I know wants to be a neighbor? Who do I know was a barber? Who do I know is a barber? Who do I know wants to be a barber? Simple questions. So we take those 3 questions and we go down the list right before we go to sleep. And we let it go. Just one time. There's around 20 questions on each page. There's about 20 memory joggers. And they go into all kinds of stuff. Kinds of work, states people come from, countries that their ancestors came from. Simple questions. Who do I know came from Poland? I know a lot of people came from Poland. I didn't think I did till I thought about it. Well, who do I know came from Russia? I know a lot of people came from Russia, but I had to think about it. You see, and it's pretty simple. So here's what happens. We get ready for bed. We take out our in fact, I'm going to send you a PDF of this because I don't want to sell you the book for $199. I want to give it to you. And I want you to explode your ministry or your business exponentially. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And after you've done this for 30 days, you'll keep doing this and doing this and doing this till you've got all the names out of your memory bank. And some of you are going to have 3,000 or 4,000 names. You just don't think you are. But remember, you met people in elementary school. You met people in high school. You met people in college. You met people that you worked with. You met people that you did hobbies with. You've met all kinds of people, and you heard their names, and their names are recorded in your subconscious mind. So you're going to go to bed. Now you're going to keep a pad of paper next to your bed, because in the morning, some of these names are going to pop up, and you're going to remember them. But you got to write them down right away, because in a few minutes you're going to forget them. And I promise you, in a few minutes I forget them. Everybody forgets them. So when you wake up in the morning, you're going to write these names down, and then in this course I'm going to teach you how to find them. And it's not hard to do anymore with the internet. We can find just about anybody. You just have to know how to do it. So this is the course, Will Green's Master Referral Marketing System, and I want you to have it free. Now, if you have a ministry and you want me to come out and teach a class on this, you just need to contact me. I'd be glad to do that. My wife and I will come out and we'll teach your congregation. And if you have a business, I'd be glad to help you with your business. I'd be glad to. Now, obviously, and I don't want a lot of money, but I certainly want the cost covered. I don't want to come out there and have to reach in my pocket to come out there and help you build your business. You need to be even Steven with me. And that's reasonable, right? So that's the course. Now, you can be successful provided you believe you can be successful. And, we want you to be successful. Now, whatever ministry you're in, whatever your calling is, we want you to be successful. Whatever business you have, because I'm a firm believer in marketplace ministry. We have a connector, and he worked for the power company. And he met all kinds of new people every day. Now, his ministry was out there in the field, in the market, doing his work. Because the people he met, a lot of them came to Christ. Whatever business you're in, you can turn your business into a platform to reach people for Christ. And speaking of platforms, I want to recommend one to you. There's a fellow named Mike Lindell who has a company called My Pillow, and he uses that platform to reach people for Christ. And he just put out a documentary today, the day I'm recording this. And you need to go see his documentary if you go to michaeljlindell.com, michaeljlindell.com. You can watch his movie. So God bless you, and hey, look, much success to you in the future year.